Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome everyone. So today is an extension of the previous lesson that we have already taken, and to to make a shortcut for all the information that we had, what we are studying in this lesson is the indicators of development. So we've been explaining throughout this unit that there are factors that show us if a country is a developed country or not a developed country. And one of these factors is, for example, uh, the food quality, the electricity, literacy, education, healthcare, and all of these kinds of factors. And today we had one more new factor, the infant mortality. It is similar to the life expectancy that we explained last class, which shows us like a diagram of how the percentage of infants living in poor countries and rich countries. So the life expectancy, in short, is is um, is a factor contributing to the quality of life in a country. So if the life expectancy is going low, then there is an issue. And if it is high, then the good or major factors are in good shape. The education is good, the health is good, the food income, uh, there is no diseases, there is no smoking, no bad habits in the population, then that will extend the life expectancy. See, uh, as for infant mortality, it is basically a percentage of how well an infant can live healthy in a society. So, for example, it is important to measure of health inequality between and within countries. So, if I want to compare between a rich country and a poor country in terms of health, I should be looking into infant mortality. All right. For example, fortunately, infant mortality rates have fallen sharply in many developing countries. So, developed countries have uh, lower infant mortality, which means that the infants can live longer and they are in good shape. If it go high, then there is an issue. There is genetic problems. There is health problems. And for example, in Africa, it is more than 11 times that of Europe. The infant rate mortality or the death of infants is higher in Africa. We said that we can take it as percentages. Around the world, there is 30%, 36%. In developed countries, it is 5%. In less developed to poor countries, it is 39, while in Africa is 57. It's a higher chance of the mortality. See, this is a chart that gives us an example. For also, Europe is 5%. It shows the gap or the difference between a rich country, a poor country, a developed country, a not developed country. And we had also other indicators of development, like school enrollment. If you get good education, that's a factor of a developed country. Doctors for every 100,000 people. The number is not exact. The doctor cannot check 100,000 people. Maybe you need 100 doctor for every 100,000. There is a criteria here or a capita that we need to consider. Food intake, energy consumption, percentage of the population with access to water supply or improved water supply, percentage of population living in urban areas, number of motor vehicles per 1,000 population. So we need to consider all of these factors that help us give us a sign of development, internet penetration rate, and all these are kinds of indicators that I asked you guys to write in your notebook today. In a title, the title was Indicators of Development. This was the title for the notebook, and the factors, all the above that we already explained. There's an interesting note that here we should take. In 2016, 7 countries had infant mortality rates above 80 to 1,000. All were in Africa. The highest rate were in Congo Dem, Rep 97 to 1,000, and Angola 93 to 1,000. So this probably means that 93 of 1,000 infants has unfortunately passed away. The Human Development Index, a border measure to development. So this is a new word, Human Development Index. It was devised by United Nations as a measure of disparities between countries. The HDI is a composite index which has changed slightly in composition in recent years. The current index contains 4 indicators of development. So the United Nations has occupied a way um, to indicate development, and they have summarized it into four indicators: life expectancy at birth, mean years of schooling for adults aged 25. So they would calculate how many years of schooling did an adult get. Expected years of schooling for children of school entering age. So this is a factor of development. And GNI per capita, this is something related to economy. So this chart actually gives us more general way to indicate the development. So every year, the United Nations publishes the Human Development Report, and it shows us, for example, here, if the development has changed, but you guys can clearly see that health, education is always permanent, or it is always the foundation, but they might have divided the education into like examples: means years of schooling, expected years of schooling, and living standards. So gross national income per capita is shortened into living standards. Life expectancy at birth, they used a more general word, health, like I've been explaining to you guys. Very high human development and high human development. This they divided the world into 4 groups: very high human development, high human development, medium human development, and low human development. You can already guess that the low human development should be the poor countries, and most of that in Africa. All the low human development countries in 2015 were in Africa, apart from Syria, Guinea, Haiti, Yemen. We need to note those that pop out within a context. Afghanistan. Every measure of development has merits and limitation, and although development gap can be measured in a variety of ways, it is generally taken to be increasing. Many people are concerned about the situation because they see it as very unfair, or because it creates political instability. So it is taken into consideration that this report might lead or may lead to political instability, maybe wars, maybe, for example, civil wars, or revolts against the governments. So that's it for today's lesson, guys. I hope that I've covered and explained all of it. If there is any questions, I'm more than welcome to answer it within the class periods. Thank you. See you later.